And we, like I said before, we will be following the bomb out of spawn here once the match actually goes to live. We're in our first restart here, so it will be live in just a second. There it is. Match now live. And bomb pitched away by Kevin. We'll see who picks that up and how they play this out. And it looks like the starting buy is going to be armor for Swifty, Kevin, and Spriggles. Got a couple of decoys, some flashbangs and smokes as well for Isung and Sakanowicz, so they're getting spun up that way. Spriggles here with the bomb handing out, going to Swifty. They caught a little bit of damage there. Isung actually took the brunt of it, but only took out 12 HP, so he's doing all right. And the positioning on the inside looks like they've got the standard fare. They've got 2 on ramp, 1 up heaven, and 2 playing here outside. 1, of course, in big garage, and 1 that's already dropped vents. They saw this push coming quickly. Down into secret. The first to go will be Sakanowicz, taken down by Dynamix, but Kevin SB picking him off. Now Pod's able to grab Isung and Swifty, and still spinning out some fire, but Spriggles picking him up. So that will leave it a 2-on-3, and they do know where they're positioned, so they are going to have the advantage there. And again, CT side, the expected side for this type of thing. I don't know that. What are you thinking, Bo? You think a straight push outside is the way to go first round?
No, going outside as terrorist with the USP and P2000, doing so much more damage or being so much more accurate at range than a Glock, it's just a death trap. As soon as they saw the smokes, I think they should have pulled out, or just I think they could have chosen something better.
I agree with you. The push here is going to actually happen on ramp. They're coming in incredibly quickly, and looks like they're going to catch that first nade as they push in. But Carbon taking the first bit of fire, and actually the first to go down as well in the exchange. Swifty able to pick up another one there, covering up Pods. Dynamix now coming in behind them, trying to make something happen, but Matchthrower is actually the one that picked up the next frag. It is down to a 2v2, and they do have control downstairs. But Spriggles now has actually moved into heaven to try to position himself up there. Swifty with the bomb, slow to move to try to get that position upstairs. Their purchases were all armor and P250s or CZs, and they were able to both pick up guns, so they did have guns at this point, but they've still got to make this happen. If they can get this plant, they'll still be able to buy next round. Oh, but he goes for the fake. Did not work out for him. Dynamix there picking him up and giving them the second round. Not a big surprise coming off of a pistol round loss to lose the second round there, but I think they had some real potential there because both of them ended up with guns. They still had their armor. So the movement there, you can't do a whole lot if you aren't already in heaven to get the bomb up there and planted. But I think they could have played that a little bit better from their heaven perspective. But again, here now we're going to be on a full save because of that loss, because they did buy the P250 and armor purchase. Swifty was able to get in, and he will be able to get this bomb down, but it looks like Dynamix taken out 2 quite quickly before he took out himself in that fire, and Swifty not able to get the bomb down, so it's left up to Isung and Spriggles. Spriggles taking a lot of damage from rafters, still holding his position in hut. Trying to put some fire down toward Mini there. The door went away with the fire over time, so Matchthrower taking some wild shots. Not really sure what he's aiming at there. It is a 4v2, so I guess Isung and Spriggles at this point waiting for a push. Function actually pushing out and catching Isung. That'll leave Spriggles by himself here, hiding out in Squeaky. What do you think he's planning to do here?
Just go for any picks, see if they get impatient. That's really all he can do at this point. If he can get a FAMAS off somebody or pick up another gun, it's a benefit for him.
And there is the pick. But all he got out of it was a 5-7 before Matchthrower were able to get his shot with that Deagle. So 3 rounds there, and of course now they will be in position to make their first buys. And buys already starting. Looks like armor and AKs going out all the way across the board. No ops for them so far. And Spriggles had the money to buy armor and opted not to. Not sure what that choice was based on, but he may be going for the next round op buy, so he's keeping a couple thousand for himself. Kevin just making a lot of noise out here at ramp. Looks like we've got Sikanowicz up top, but actually he was able to get that first pick. He was able to take a quick pick on function there. But instead of making a push outside immediately, they drop back, and I think that's going to put a little bit of confusion out here for Dynamix, who's sitting up at red box. And stayed with the FAMAS, didn't make a purchase this round. The rest have purchased, so there are 3 M4s in play and an op now. He made that swap, so wild shot into the smoke. Not going to do much for him, but they are seeing some fire outside. Got Sikanowicz. Got the push all the way across now and has made his way into secret. And going to make the play downstairs. Taking control of vents here. Did catch sight of Carbon, but didn't take any shots. Kevin picking off Match Thrower, and then Sikanowicz grabbing Carbon. So now they have full control of the site, 5v2. And they're getting the bomb put down right now in the smoke. Pod's now trying to push in. He's got position on ramp. Dynamix looks like he's following him in from ramp side. Actually, he's rotating around upstairs. He looks like he's going to head for vents. So it's up to both Pods and Dynamix. Dynamix with an op and not a lot of HP, actually opting to head out towards CT spawn or T-spawn. Try to keep that op in hand, and Pods here hiding at headshot. So he's going to get away with his M4, and that will give Envision their first round here in round 4. And I think that was a pretty solid play. I mean, for a first gun round, they were able to make a lot happen and quickly. Sikanowicz getting that pick outside and giving them room to work towards secret really worked out well for them. And that shot coming from up top of Twinkie, even though he was being watched, he was able to get pick the op with that AK. So that worked out really well for him. Let's actually listen in this round, see how they're going to play it from here.
Fuck lobby. Don't let them know we're ramp. Just kind of do slightly default.
Yeah,
no,
I'm gonna wait outside to see if they push.
All right. Just walk towards lobby. Don't let them know where we are.
Smoke ramp.
Nading mini. Double nade mini, Spriggs.
They had one CT red. I'm throwing a smoke outside.
One nade ramp.
I'm throwing a flash outside.
Flash ramp.
Alright, can we set up, Sung?
Yeah.
I'm close.
Oh, what? My bad, guys.
You can't get picked outside. You're just watching so they don't push us, dude. You know we're executing ramp. Ready? Smoke in 1, 2, 3, smoke. Alright, go. One hell. Or yellow, maybe. Even yellow.
One ramp. He's there by near hedge.
The fuck, dude? I'm so lost through the smoke.
Is that hell? That's hell?
Yeah, that was hell, but there's a
hell.
opera hell.
Stick, you can't make us lose a player like that. One silo.
And those plays going decisively in the direction of Team Devious there. Their hold on ramp was actually really strong, even though they did have the double smoke and the flash placed out as intended. It didn't really work out too well for them. They did get picked quite quickly on their move in there. And I think the call was correct that Sikanowicz should, while he was outside, shouldn't have been peeking often enough to have gotten hit by an op. Especially if you're just there to watch that rotation, but what are you going to do? Sometimes it goes that way. They are forcing. It looks like they're going to go ahead and take a Galil and a CZ along with armor and AKs. 3 AKs out, and we've got AK op and 3 M4s in play over on the CT side. And let's take a look at his positioning here for the CT. He's got Match Thrower playing position, having Dynamix and Mini, and actually able to get the first pick there before Match Thrower grabs the second and gets taken down. Looks like Carbon and Pods play their positions in ramp generally. Dynamix still holding into a position here in Heaven, having rotated out of Mini, and quickly getting in and getting the picks. Leaving Kevin by himself over in Squeaky, and he'll be taken down by Carbon. So they were able to get in and get the plant. That was executed well, but that on a force buy, they're going to be back on a force, or they're going to have to save here. They're actually under 4K across the board, so looks like they're going to go ahead and save. What would you like to see them changing up?
I'd like to see them really work outside more, not even committing to outside, just putting the pressure on there. Because if you put pressure on outside, it sometimes pulls the Heaven guy out, pulls the Mini guy out, and leaves other places vulnerable. The reason Nuke is such a CT-sided map is because the rotates are so fast, but that also means if you pull people out of position, you have a huge advantage.
I gotcha. And Dynamix here still holding his position. He's actually primarily playing Mini and watching toward Hut, but he does have that peek for outside every once in a while. Function is their other on the outside play, and he's staying up top with Heaven. Of course, Pods and Carbon both playing their positions in ramp. Pods getting a little brave here and pushing forward. Might not work out too well for him if Kevin gets the first sight through the smoke fading out, but looks like he's opting to pull back before it fades, so he'll get out of that line. Carbon's completely off of ramp at this point, so if they were to push quickly in, they would just be facing one, but looks like that peek outside served Dynamix well. He was able to pick up one there. Swifty out of play. And here we have 45 seconds left and no commitment in any particular direction. I'm liking what I see from Team Devious's choice on smokes. There, Kevin got a quick pick on Pods. They do have ramp control, and they are going to get downstairs and get the bomb down. But Team Devious, they're not throwing smokes at the beginning of the round. They're definitely waiting out the best opportunities to keep them in place. They have them toward the end of the round. And their retakes are fast and quite furious there, coming in from every direction at the same time and taking full control of the site, even though the site belonged to Team-EnVsn. Now, that being a save round, they weren't able to do a whole lot there with pistols, but getting the bomb down puts them back in the money. Sakanowicz immediately going for an op, and AKs across the board, full armor and full kit on grenades, so they're definitely ready to go here as they push out. Sakanowicz going to self-boot, try to get himself back up top. Making a whole lot of noise inside. In the way of ramp. Either Sakanowicz or Dynamax are able to see each other out there, so no fire going in that direction. Swifty trying to do a little bit of damage to whoever's sitting Heaven. In this case, Function, but not doing a whole lot. And nobody pulled off of their positions yet, so they still have to pick the direction they're going to commit. Looks like Bomb's toying with the idea inside of pushing here through lobby. Spriggle's taking it back outside. Dynamix is taken down, so they do have control outside, but they are going to have to make something happen on their cross to get themselves, once they're in secret, to make it work for them. Function there with a quick pick on Spriggles. That'll take the bomb down. And they got it back up. Sakanowicz now carrying the bomb, pushing it inside. Action here inside on stairs. Pod's able to grab Swifty. Sakanowicz taking him down. Brings us back to a 3-on-3. Carbon grabbed Kevin back in the back of Vince, letting Isung know where he was at, so Isung able to get a pick there. Match thrower in quickly and shutting down the plant and grabbing that last pick on Sakanowicz. Match thrower really having a great game. Making a lot of stops exactly where they need to happen. And setting them up nicely. Now we're heading into round number 9, and Team Devious is able to keep control here, only losing one round, that first bye round.
Extremely solid play from Team Devious. Solid rotates. They don't over-rotate. That's a huge key. And Team-EnVsn have just, I think, run out of ideas. I think they've tried to pull everything that they know and are now resorting to rushes.
But they have been able to make rushes work for them in the past. The match, though, are not letting that work for them this time. The quick 4K there. And a complete shutdown up in A site. So let's see how they're going to try to play out the save and what they're going to do to get the bomb down.
Let's go outside. No, we need to start working outside. When we go outside, we can get squeaky.
Playing like fucking morons right now, dude.
It's not that. It's because we started T side.
And I agree with that observation. T side is actually the
I don't
disadvantage.
know why we came
Two
outside with
peeking.
save round pistols with no. Alright, we got the smoke
Three
to cross.
outside.
Just cross. Just cross.
One's mini. One was mini.
More straight for plant.
Just gonna kill you right away. There's one still around, dude.
I'm sorry.
And not able to make anything happen again. It's a save round. There's not a lot you can do against a save round, in a save round against a fully armed and armored team. But you can hear get a little down on themselves already. We don't want to see that happen, but it is always rough starting on the downside, especially on a map like Nuke where it is so heavily weighted to CT side. Really, even the top teams struggle with making things happen on CT on Nuke, or on T side on Nuke. So, not anything out of the ordinary so far. But like you said, they are throwing everything they've got at them, timing out all of their plays as best they can, but still not able to make anything work for them. So now they're going to have to renegotiate their approach. And here they're going for possibly an upper take. Full flashes in. Dynamix there with the first pick, grabbing Sung, but Sakanowicz able to take him down and match throw at the same time. So they do have control of upper to some extent. Carbon sitting in the smoke there upstairs, and Function trying to make his way in through Mini and able to get a quick octet there. So he did the damage he needed to do, and Pod's there picking up Swifty, pushing through, but Kevin's going to stop that. Spriggle's there grabbing Carbon and giving them the round by picking off Function in his last approach in. They are back in their guns and back in the match. So you want to try to get about 5 rounds on T side. Is that usually the sway, you think?
I think 10-5, 9-6 split is pretty common. I think if you see 11-4, you're pretty pressured on pistol round, and if you lose the pistol, even more stress. I think it's really hard to come back from that point, if not impossible. I think they're going to aim for minimum 5 rounds here, and if they can't get that, it's going to be pretty rough.
Have to agree with you. And they are setting up an outward approach here. Throwing their traditional smokes. Match thrower there. That M4 play is stopping everything that heads into A site. That was a pick picked off Isung there, trying to push through Hut to make something happen. But that did give them a chance to push outside, get their flashes in place. They got across here, so Spriggle's taking up a solid position downstairs, getting that first pick. Pod's caught the side of his legs, able to stop him there, so they'll stop anything heading into Vince here if they can. Swifty there picking up match thrower, but only after he was able to get a pick there on Kevin, so it leaves Sakanowicz and Swifty. Carbon trying to push outside with Function, or push through Vince rather, with through the smoke. Worked out perfectly for him. Sakanowicz there able to get that pick, so Function by himself. And Sakanowicz, quick turn. He is absolutely lucky that Function missed that intro op shot. But what are you going to do? That does give him another round. That does put them in a better position here going into round number 13. You think they're going to go back to their intro plays, see what works for them again, or keep with the rushes? And
I'd like to see them go back to normal strats instead of rushes. It really depends on how they're set up. If Devious gets cocky, if they feel very confident, then I like rushes, but it all depends on what they're feeling in the game right now.
Swifty's upstairs taking shots again through the wall, trying to put some damage on who's playing Heaven, and actually worked out for him that time. He got Match Thrower down to 66 HP, and Function's about to catch a grenade. Oh, we just barely missed him there, so... And they've pulled him completely off of ramp. Pods has fallen all the way down into B site, and Carbon is sitting over in hell, but they'll have a clear move to walk in. Carbon with another pick through the smoke. He's just lining up those headshots through smoke without any trouble. He's got his angles right. Sakanowicz there got first peek on him, so he'll get that pick. That gives them ramp control, but with 35 seconds left, they still haven't decided to commit. It looks like they're going to rotate back slowly toward A site. Match Thrower hasn't yet given it up, so he'll be able to catch them if they come through Heaven. Swifty be peeking now, had a peek through Hut, but Function caught sight of him too quickly. And now Match Thrower again catching... putting some damage on Sakanowicz and picking up Spriggles at the same time. Also able to get that pick there on Sakanowicz at the end of it after Dynamax caught his side of Isung. So another round going their way, bringing us to round number 14. 10-3 to start off with. And that puts them back on a save. Looks like P250s and CZs again coming out. Spriggle's the only one to even opt for armor this time around. Looks like an accidental on that incendiary. Isung position now in Hut. Swifty have control of Squeaky there. Sakanowicz still peeking outside to see where things are going. Both Spriggles and Kevin trying to play a little bit over to ramp side, but Pod's going to shut Kevin down on that side, and that'll put Spriggles pulling back out off of it.
I think for a save route, I'd like to see more pressure other than just wait it out. Picks and kind of openings are really good for gun rounds, but not for a save.
Absolutely. And Match Thrower here, just checking all the right angles. He even had had a disadvantage walking into that, and was still able to get another pick there in secret, or in Squeaky rather. So at least Spriggles by himself with 8 HP, trying to hold on to his position in lobby. And that move toward ramp shut down quickly by Pods. So that's going to take us to the last round of the first half, and they are up 11 rounds, which is really going to put a lot of pressure on them coming into the pistol round for the second half. But that doesn't mean they can't do it, especially considering how strong CT side is on this. And I do know that Team-EnVsn has a strong nuke play, so we'll see how they position themselves and how they play that out. But as we push through the rest of this last round of this half, I'm going to go ahead and let us listen in on how they're pushing things.
Smoke. One can't be too far away. Actually, one's got to be close.
Guys,
Go, go,
run,
go, go,
go, go, go, go.
One
Raptors, I guess.
I think. Got me through the smoke.
Stairs.
Thank you.
Don't just
Vents.
run in. Don't just run in. There's people
One
out there.
vents,
One,
one-
one rafters. Be rafters. Behind the side. Behind the silo. Kev, you gotta go get him, dude. He's gonna be to the left of the vent. Vents, vents, vents,
Vent,
vents.
vent, vent.
Vents, 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 vents.
And that'll put an end to the first half, and not exactly what we wanted to see happening here for Team-EnVsn. Only coming out with 3 rounds there in the first half. A lot of those pushes, it really didn't matter which direction they picked. It seems like Team Devious really had their plan together and knew exactly what angles they wanted to hold. Their positioning was correct on every single round, regardless of whether it was overstack outside or overstack on ramp. But the rotations, they weren't called off of the rotations at all whenever they still had 5 men up, knowing that they still had control of both sites. Worked out incredibly well for them. We'll take a look, see how pistol round plays out. And Spriggle's the only one opting for armor. Got 2 nades in play. They're accidentally picking up Sakanowicz, but Kevin able to pick up Dynamix, Isung with Function, Swifty on Carbon, and Match Thrower was able to get a quick pick there. Did take out Isung, but now that Kevin's nade caught Match Thrower, it looks like it's all up to Pods, who is downstairs and was able to take the bomb through stairs and get that pick on Swifty. Now he's going to try to push back through vents. Both Kevin and Spriggles playing their position upstairs. And Pods opting to rotate back outside. Looks like he's going to try to make a play through Mini. And their positioning is absolutely correct on this, I think, because if they hear the bomb plant start on B, they can both drop vents at exactly the same time and cover both sides. And if he opts not to go back downstairs and makes this play here up through Heaven, the first to see him here is going to be Spriggles. And they'll be able to put a stop to that. So we'll see what he does here. And he is going for the move to Heaven. Spriggles now did get line of sight of him. And didn't quite get the pick. Kevin there able to finish it off and take him down. That will give them pistol and a great start for CT. Exactly what we wanted to see happen. And keeping control of their positioning. I've seen them do that a lot of times where they do the dual vent drops. And it's a really strong way to keep control of both A and B side at exactly the same time.
In order to be successful here, EnVsn needs to keep their guns. If they're stressed for money on the CT side when they have no rounds to give up, they're going to really have a hard time.
Yeah, they'll overextend their reach there, and that's certainly not going to go well for them. Pods here with a quick pick, able to take down Isung, so that's going to give them 1 FAMAS. And they are able to get full control of ramp. They haven't decided if they're going to push down yet or not. Looks like they're just going to keep their position for now. And the handoff went to Dynamix. He's now on the approach for ramp with that FAMAS. Swifty keeping an eye on stairs there, and by standing at the door, if they try to get into B side, if they make any noise on their move in, he'll be able to call it quickly. Kevin dropping vents and able to catch sight of them, so he did see that they are making plays down there. Dynamix doing a little bit of damage, brought him down to 39, but Dynamix himself is down at 26 now. Pods with they handed off with the FAMAS. A good play there to put the FAMAS with the heavy armor and the high HP. Gave that out to Carbon. Kevin quick peek, able to take down Carbon. Sakanowicz shutting down Function. Swifty getting 2 real quick picks. Match Thrower left by himself, and Spriggle's able to pick him up. So the round did work out for them, even with the early loss of a weapon. And the passing of the weapon, a fantastic move, but with Carbon going down immediately on his peak to Kevin, that immediately put that gun out of play and gave them back the gun advantage. And of course, they had never lost control of stairs there off of B site, so they did have good control there. Again, with buys happening, we've got 2 M4s, 3 FAMASs up, 1 armor and deagle combo coming out of T side, and that in Match Thrower's hands. And of course, Match Thrower has been the hard hitter for several of these rounds, including picking up 1 3K and 1 4K in the first half. So he's definitely the guy you want to have the firepower, but the first to go down. And Kevin able to pick him up outside after doing a lot of damage. iSung there also able to take out Dynamax, and he'll probably pick up one more. Nope, Function getting the better of him there, but Carbon left with almost no health. Function there on 9 HP. Pod's by himself outside with a, looks like P250, trying to make a play upstairs, but they don't have the bomb or any angles to play here, and without armor between the 3 that are left up, and only a FAMAS in Function's hands, he's probably going to try to hide and keep a hold of that FAMAS. I'm not sure if they know that he's still down there. Obviously they're not pushing toward him, but they did know that's where he was last seen in Sakanowicz. They are getting the peek and getting the kill. So that will give another round of Team-EnVsn, bringing us up to round number 19 and 3 rounds straight for EnVsn. And now Team Devious will be on their first full buy for T side. And looks like Kevin's got the op in hand as well over on their side, so
I'm pretty excited to see what Team Devious pulls out for their first gun round, because we saw what EnVsn had to offer, but we don't really know much from Devious's T side.
absolutely. And it looks like they're timing out smokes and flashes to make a play toward A site, but they completely stopped after everything was thrown that direction. And I'm not sure that if they pulled someone off a ramp or if iSung was just holding it by himself there, but he dropped all the way down. Dynamix now moving over to keep control of entry from Hell side, and Carbon able to pick up iSung down in B site. So it looks like they're falling down there trying to get in. Swifty able to pick up Carbon. Caught a grenade there though, down on 16 HP. But he is aware that they were trying to make some moves here into B site, and they did stop that approach. Function's all the way back upstairs, still playing lobby. We got Dynamix trying to push off of ramp here, and now looks like they're pulling a rotation heading out toward Hell. Match Thrower pushing all the way around outside. Pod's going to make some noise here on ramp, I'm sure, to try to keep their attention in that direction. Function's moved all the way back upstairs, though. He's outside with Match Thrower, but Kevin caught sight of Match Thrower, shut him down. Now Function knows where he's at, so he's going to try to get this kill, and he does. That'll put the op in their hand if he chooses to take it. But Spriggles actually caught sight of Pods, and Swifty keeping an eye on the mini entrance, able to shut that down and give them yet another round. And that's actually probably the best round they're going to have here in terms of keeping the momentum heading their direction. That first gun round can really make or break your standing on your strong side, and able to keep the momentum on their side, keep the money in their hands. They've got 2 AKs up with their 3 M4s, full armor, and the full array of grenades, so they're completely ready to go. And here, the smoke working very much in the advantage of Team-EnVsn. Spriggles there able to pick up all but one that Swifty grabs up in the back end there, so that fast rush for A site shut down immediately, and that smoke stopping all of them and stacking them in one spot caught them off guard, and apparently eating a grenade in the beginning as well.
The way smokes are now, just never run through them. The way Valve has set up the sprites is that even if you are in the outside of the smoke, you can't see anything, but they can see your legs. If you thought smokes were defensive before, more so now.
Absolutely. That one-way smoke was a real disadvantage to any team that wasn't prepared for it, and having that change has worked out incredibly well for the defensive side. Looks like 2 boosted up outside. Dynamix giving the boost to both Carbon and Match Thrower. And they did catch sight of Kevin and Sakanowicz. Match thrower getting Sakanowicz and a quick turn to pick up Kevin. He's down on 1 HP, but he'll still be able to make enough noise. And they, not seeing his HP, would have seen that as a man disadvantage, but Spriggle's there, able to pick him up as they tried to push in. Keeping his position on the left side, right above Squeaky. This flash will hit him. And that gives Dynamix the view to shut it down. Swifty hiding here in Toxic while the bomb's about to go down upstairs. Carbon there getting the pick. And actually, they were able to put a stop to it. The bomb went downstairs, and that really didn't help them out much because they've got to get to it. Swifty still has line of sight, able to take out Carbon there. And able to get that pick. That play in Toxic, I had no idea that would work there. I was quite surprised because they did have full control upstairs. But good play on his end. And another fantastic round going their way. Now round 22. And they're up on 6 straight rounds. CT side, playing it exactly the way you want to. And making the plays that they needed to make. Now full buy round once again for the T's. They've got full AKs except for Function, who got out with the Galil, but they do have full armor and a pretty wide array of grenades working for him. Kevin shutting down a push outside and taking out Match Thrower quickly. Sakanowicz there picking up Function as well. Dynamix now trying to push up to Red Box and see if he can get himself across. Flash towards Secret. Not sure if he thought there was a push coming from up there, but his crossover will give him an angle to see into Big Garage, but not much to see on that side, and he missed the cross again. Swifty now with the auto upstairs, playing that from heaven, able to pick up a quick pick. Dynamix still making some noise outside and trying to hide out there behind Mini. Kevin caught sight of him, shut him down, so that leaves Carbon by himself, or sorry, Pods by himself, now pushing him to hell. He did catch sight of Swifty, but wasn't able to do anything with it. Able to put a little bit of damage on Kevin, but they know he's still in there. Isung trying to sneak up behind him, coming up out of ramp. And he catches sight and gets that pick, so that'll give them round number 21, and we head into round number 22 rather there, and we head into round number 23 with Team-EnVsn making a grand comeback now, and still down 2 rounds, but in a fantastic position. They've got save happening over on, actually no, they opted to buy, so they've got armor, Galil, and 4 AKs. If they don't win this round, they're going to be awfully hurt, but I suppose at this point, because they've lost so many rounds in a row, they're making 3,400 every round, so if they can get 1 pick, they can usually buy back out. Sakanowicz there with first sight, catching up on Dynamix, who was hiding in Hut. He took quite a bit of damage himself, sitting on 8 HP. We've got smokes coming in for upstairs. And smokes out toward ramp. I guess Isung hasn't seen anything yet, but he may see some action here real soon as the decision for a direction is being called over on the T side, and they will head toward ramp. Isung caught sight of him, so he's falling down and going to try to hold him in that position. Immediately the dark. Match Thrower caught on to that though, shut him down there. And now putting the bomb down here in B site. Function able to get the bomb down. That's going to keep him with plenty of money to keep buying here, regardless of how this round goes. Man-wise it is 4-4. They do have positioning. Swifty knows there's one over. Now has line of sight for one in Toxic, and seeing one on ramp. He knows where they both are, but not going to have time to get them both and get this defused, so going to opt for the pick and probably try to get out of there with that auto. Instead,
That was a strange play from Swifty.
Opting to switch for a Galil and go for that pick at the very back end, knowing he was going to die in the blast anyway, an unusual choice. But They still got a lot of money. They've got room to work. They're going to have a full buy here again. Swifty back with the auto. They have full M4s across the board once again. But now we're seeing AKs and one Galil. Dynamix this time on the Galil. Pods, they're not able to get head armor, but still able to get that buy. Now, if they lose this round, they're going to be incredibly hurt financially. Dynamix first to move forward. Kevin caught sight of him.
A lot of pressure on Envision right now to nip their momentum. If they can shut this down, then they're in a terrible place economically and kind of mentally.
Absolutely. That'll leave them knowing they've got to save another one with only a few rounds left in play here. 6 rounds total left available. If they can't make the most of this one, it's really going to hurt them. And actually, the first to be taking damage here, Dynamix down to 15 HP without having done any damage. And Carbon there taken down by Swifty as well. Dynamix doing everything he can to get that pick on Kevin. And now it looks like a smoke out of hut. Doesn't really give them an advantage. And everyone's still holding their positions. It's good to see they haven't called Envision off of any of their positions to over-rotate or overhold any particular angle. Swifty there with the auto, sitting in hell, able to get sight of him. Going to catch the flash out and try to get one more pick. Isung peeked from ramp and was able to pick up Dynamix, leaving it a 2v5 as they try to push down here down the ramp. And Isung, Match Thrower walked right into Isung, and Pods following closely behind. So like we said, they are incredibly damaged here, down to less than 1500 or 1500 max for any player on their side. And Match Thrower making that that Deagle buy once again. They'll have P250s for a couple others, and at least one decoy headed out here. Dynamix left spawn with a smoke, so they may try to use that to get a quick rush here. Yep, they're headed directly for a ramp, and that smoke going out now so they can get across, but no picks happening just yet. Isung falling all the way back to ramp. That late flash throw was able to get him a little bit more time, and with a little bit of help there, he actually got one pick, and Sakanowic stepping in at just the right time to save Isung and help him get another pick there. So Match Thrower by himself with just the Deagle, trying to get back down, get the bomb, make anything happen at this point. And if he can't, well, that's going to bring us incredibly close to a tie situation, because they're still not going to be able to make any buys without having gotten the bomb down this round. High man up at this point is Carbon with 3,200, so not going to be any buys happening over there on their side. Full save as they head out on this round, and they are facing an AK, 3 M4s, and Swifty's still hanging on to that auto, so this round shouldn't be much trouble for Team-EnVsn to pick up, and that will put us at a tie for round number 26. Push happening fast outside. Sakanowic shutting down 2 really quickly. Kevin SB able to pick up Pods there as well. Function hanging out now in Squeaky, and Carbon trying to make a play over here toward ramp side, but Function's got the bomb with him. I'm not sure if anybody saw that bomb yet. Sakanowic's got sight of it there and able to shut him down. Carbon picking out, unable to make the pick. Sakanowic's stopping mid-reload to stop that play from happening. So that does bring us to a tie situation heading into round number 27. And this has just been straight sets down the line for Team-EnVsn on the second half. They've only lost 1 round on the half, and they have definitely kept the momentum even immediately following that round with a quick win. So this is absolutely going their way. Let's listen in again and see how they're going to try to hold on to this.
Just key, boys.
2 outside.
Sick, I got it. Sick, I got it.
You got the cross? Oh, no you don't. No, you're good. No, good job. I heard a
Lower,
lot outside.
lower.
I heard a lot outside.
Lower,
Sunk
lower.
drop, sunk drop, sunk drop.
You guys
Keep
drop.
bait.
I got it.
Keep sprigs, yeah. Kinda watch my back, Sung, actually. Just take your time. Sorry, Sick, I didn't know they were that close.
Anyone watching outside?
No, not really. A and B.
I'm gonna play headshot then. One
One
hell.
hell. One hell. Watch your heaven. One hit radio.
2 radio. They have ramp. 3 of them. Wait,
Watch
they
heaven.
might go hell.
They're going heaven. They're going heaven. One coming mini.
Oh, they're going upper.
Lit. 2 of them are lit. Nice try.
That round going to Team Devious, and really late play on that, but able to make that work for them.
No, incredibly smart by Team Devious. They got the picks, but they didn't commit to anything. So when it came to it, they're facing a 3vx in a certain situation where Team-EnVsn really had to make a choice and gamble on one side or another.
Absolutely, and now we see them coming out here, round number 28. This could sway the match entirely or put us back to an even play here, but the push happening here outside. No trades happening just yet. Dynamix trying to catch sight of Kevin here. Kevin refusing to peek on it though. Dynamix really quick pick, able to see him there, and giving them the starting momentum for this, putting them up 5v2 on the approach. Flash out, Sakanowicz with a quick peek. Didn't see anything coming, so he's going to fall back and keep his position there. But peeked at just the right time to take out Dynamix. That does take the op out of play for them, and Swifty able to grab Match Thrower over at ramp side, but hardly picking up Swifty, so it is 3v3. Sakanowicz peeking at just the right time there. Now we have both sitting on ramp trying to push in, and Isung just holding his position back of sight. He is on his own though. Pods there getting that pick, so now they do have the floor, and they are going for the plant. Pod's able to get the bomb down. Sakanowicz taking a bit of damage, sitting at 35 HP, and Pod's at 64. They've got to get in and start this defuse. Get something to work for them here. Pod's picking up Spriggles on his move in, and able to get another pick. So that'll put them up 15-13. We head into round number 29 here, and this definitely needs to go EnVsn's way. They do have enough money to make their buys. Kevin here's going to get a buy from Sakanowicz, but they are going to have the money and keep everything in play here. M4s across the board, trades all around. There is an op and 4 AKs heading out of T-spawn. Slow push toward lobby on this side. We've got Function moving outside as well. Dynamix keeping an angle out to make sure that they don't get pushed from any particular direction. Inside, Swifty's already on floor downstairs. Make sure no fast pushes come in from lobby, but doesn't look like there's a whole lot in lobby for him to catch sight of, so. Some fire happening outside, getting some trades damage-wise. Dynamix out there trying to push forward, catch sight of something, but nothing to see just yet. And there got a quick peek of Sakanowicz, but not a chance to get a pick. Down to the 58-second mark. Sakanowicz caught Dynamix outside, so that does put them up a little bit better on the man advantage. Carbon there able to grab Isung though. Sakanowicz now dropping downstairs. And Kevin setting up in hell to keep him from pushing in that direction. Sakanowicz here able to see the nades coming in. He should know that the push is coming in closely behind it. And he did catch sight of Function there, so he will be able to stop him. And actually got the accidental on Carbon at the same time, so that's going to work out for him. And shutting down Function, so now they do have control down there. Bomb on the floor. Match thrower, picking it up, getting that pick, and now it's going to fall. Without the time to get the plant. Kevin hiding out down here in lockers and saving that round there. I didn't even catch sight of the clock. I didn't realize that they had that play available, so good move on Kevin not to try to get in there and stop a plant or anything. And great for Sakanowicz to make just enough happen on the floor on B site to stop that plant from going down in time. So that does put us at round number 30. It all comes down to this. Now if they get a tie going, we'll have to have a little bit of a tiebreaker, but we'll see how this plays out for them now. Dynamix and Function didn't even get guns to leave with, and neither did Spriggles here out with a P250 in armor. So both teams right on the cusp financially, but still trying to make something happen. Carbon caught some fire from the outside there, but Dynamix with the first pick, able to grab Sakanowicz. Striggle's taking him down now. Function with the Deeg shot on Kevin. Trying to do some damage here against Spriggles in mini. And I'm guessing it went to a tie, and we're looking at a tiebreaker because they seem to have cut off our feed and started up the match. So we'll see how... I'm sorry we couldn't show you the rest of that play, how that played out. But I am getting word now we are officially going into overtime. Somebody's got to tell them not to cut that off so quickly.
Yeah, I think they just forget about the 2-minute delay, and as soon as they reach the end of the round, they reset the server, but there's no delay when they reset the server for us, so we get cut off.
And now in CEVO rules, I believe they start out best of 6 rounds. Both teams start out with 16K, and you start on the same round that you were just on. So it will go to Team-EnVsn on CT side, 16,000 for everyone. So they'll have full money for all 3 rounds to buy on. And great on them to be able to make that recovery and pick up that round. Again, sorry we weren't able to show you how it played out the rest of that, but yay, they still got the tie, so we'll see where they take it from here.
Now, I just need to know, is CEVO 10,000 or CEVO 16,000?
I'm pretty sure it's 16,000. At least that's the way we've always played it out in our Tin-Man warm-ups using the CEVO config. So we'll find out here in just a second. Hopefully, once we get the teams back in sight, we'll be able to start tracking again. Like, as always, there's a 2-minute delay to prevent any cheating or any early broadcast of anything happening or following on there, so we have to wait out that time limit. But once both teams are fully settled back into their positions, we now see everyone loading back in, and Team-EnVsn, as we said, going to CT side and 16K on the board for everyone. But I think, yeah, we're still in warm-up mode at this point. So with full money, starting out on CT side against a obviously very strong team, what's your starting play?
I'd like to see them change it up a bit. The slow play was really working for them, but this small delay is probably... If I were EnVsn right now, I'd be saying, okay guys, what went wrong for the last 3 rounds? We were able to win 8 rounds straight and then couldn't clinch it. So I'm hoping that they're saying their slow play is getting us out of position. And I would love to see them just be a little bit more patient and kind of
Stick
take
their spots.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the rotations, that'll get any team. If you're not on your position when the pressure comes in, you're giving away around there, and so you do have to always keep a side of that. Warm-up time ending here, so we will go into overtime play. And here we see the configuration, 16K across the board for both teams, best of 6 rounds, and you start on the side that you finished on, meaning you start opposite where you originally started, so that gives Team-EnVsn a CT start. If they can pick up 3 rounds in a row, they're going to be very comfortable, but if they don't make the most out of this, of course there's buys happening everywhere. Swifty now heading back out with the auto, full AK's armor and grenades. And a quick push toward B site. Swifty first catch site, able to grab function, shut him down, and then going back to his position up through heaven to try to get back a site if he needs to toward B site. The push still happening here on ramp, but the commitment is incredibly slow. iSung there catching the back of Carbon, who didn't check dark. Now they know he's there. Still not able to put him down, and Sakanowicz catching match thrower. That's going to put the round definitely into the hands of EnVsn here with a 1v5 without the bomb. Pods may be able to pick off iSung, who is low HP, but Swifty still got line of sight and able to shut that down. So that's the start you want to have happen whenever you're playing this position on CT side. Looks like similar buys, except they're going to opt for an op now, so we may see Dynamix take that outside. No more rushing any particular position, but they do have a man down. It looks like Carbon is late to get out of spawn. Dynamix there catching the first nade out, so damage done there. Sakanowicz able to pick up function on his peak inside, so that puts a stop to that push that was happening toward Hut, and he didn't take much damage there. Spriggles actually took the brunt of that. Sakanowicz, lucky shot through the smoke, able to pick up match thrower. Kevin looking over the top and catching Dynamix, leaving Pods and Carbon by themselves out there. Pods up top. He may get sight of something here. Was able to catch Sakanowicz, and a quick pick on Spriggles as well, so he is in sight and he is going to be able to get the bomb down if Swifty doesn't peek in at the right time here, which he opted not to peek and went for the flashes. Kevin catching sight of Pods there in sight. Carbon going to have to hide out in the corner. Opted to peek. I think that was a poor decision, but it's definitely going to go for Team-EnVsn's direction for that. So iSung here with the defuse, and 2 rounds on this best of 6 already in Team-EnVsn's hands. If they can pick up a third, that means all they have to do is hold strong on T side or win that first round on the changeover. And of course, when that change happens after 3 rounds, they all go back up to 16K. So you're going to be starting with full purchase power once again on that side.
In a situation like that where it's a 1v5 and you know they're coming at you from every direction, I actually favor the play where you create an opening for yourself rather than be in a 1v5 situation all at once.
I can see how that how that positioning would work out for you. iSung here seems to have been scared off of position without anything coming his direction. For me personally, they didn't know where he was playing from. He hadn't made any picks or hadn't been seen at that point, so he did have the advantage of catching peaks. But you're absolutely right. That push out may have made the difference if he was able to catch it. First pick here going to Kevin, who shared a little bit of damage with Spriggles or Sakanowicz there to get that first pick, and there another pick going their way. That brings us to 5 on 2, and this round, unless Carbon and Function can make a whole lot happen with an op and 1 AK, this round is going to go to Team-EnVsn and set them up nicely with a 3-round start for the overtime. Carbon trying to catch iSung there. No real line of sight. That flash coming from Hell, probably from Swifty if I had to guess. Yep, he's sitting in his position in Hell with that auto. He is definitely good to go and holding on that. Carbon going to try to peek it now. Got line of sight of him, but wasn't able to get that pick. Swifty not even losing any HP. Function down to 25 before iSung picking him off. with the assist there from Swifty. So that does take us up to round number 4 of our overtime with that 3-round advantage. Team-EnVsn sitting very comfortably, and of course all they have to do is make one right move on T side, and with the money in their hands, they can do it. So what's your play, knowing that you've got the money and it's all up, to ride here? Where do you go?
If I were in the same position as Envision right now, I'd be having nightmares of the first half on T side, where every strat I threw at them didn't work. I'd like to throw something new at them, maybe make up something on the spot, but that's going to come to Swifty, the in-game leader.
All right, well, let's listen to see how they do it.
Watch your corners. They're going to push everywhere.
I got Squeaky.
Don't make any noise lobby. Take your time.
I got Squeaky. One guy get hut, one guy get ramp.
Sick, we got to sell this fake, bro.
Oh, it'll be sold.
Make noise, Swifty.
Swifty
I did it.
by
As
himself
soon as the
on
smoke
that
goes where we
push.
hit.
I got the pick too low. It works even better.
Ready, guys?
That's it.
Yeah.
Go.
Yo, get the flash and shit. I'm going vents.
Top Squeaky.
I got Squeaky.
Smoking
I'm
up,
watching
smoking up,
One
mid,
outside,
smoking
one
up,
outside.
I'm watching heaven.
I'm planning for heaven instead, I think, because we got to... One coming lobby.
Got heaven.
One lobby.
Still
outside
watching
now?
heaven. One's coming.
I'm in hot.
Lobby.
I'm in hot.
Watch lobby.
Oh, the guy was up and outside. This guy was up and outside.
Just don't peek. Play your time.
I'm flashing it. Be careful. No,
Alright.
no.
Just flash it out of the window. Just flash out of the window. Don't peek, guys.
Still.
That looks like it's going to bring it to an end. Function there, opting not to push, knowing that this is the end of the match.
Good job.
And that does it. That brings it up to Team-EnVsn picking it up in overtime. A fantastic finish for them. I am incredibly pleased that that worked out so well for them. And like you said, making a big change on the way that they played it, making a fake for outside, using the same play that they used over and over again outside, but really selling it with Swifty heading in that direction, getting a quick pick, pulled everyone off their spots, exactly what you want to see happen, and giving them full control of A site with only, only the one player left in there. He's already left the server, Match Thrower, and with the pick on the entry, with Spriggles taking that pick, gave them absolute power on controlling that site. They were able to get a couple quick more picks and leave it just a 2 on the approach, stopping the push from lobby, knowing where that last man was coming in through on Mini trying to get into site. A fantastic finish and a great showing for them this week. This is definitely going to help their standings and set them up with a 2-0 start in the playoffs. And definitely a very close match. A little bit defeatist at the beginning there with only 3 rounds on T side, knowing that they had to make a comeback from that, but they did everything that they had to do to make that happen, and congratulations to them. Thanks for tuning in with me, Bo. I do appreciate that.
Oh, thank you for having me. 3rd time's the charm, right?
It always works out well for us. And thank all of you for tuning in and watching. And congratulations again to Team-EnVsn. Tune back in Thursday night, next matchup for the playoffs. We'll be happy to see them try to keep the momentum going and hopefully carry themselves even further forward and do this one more time. But that's going to do it for me tonight. I've been Grim, and I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Take it easy. We'll catch you again on Thursday.